love, unity, civilization, and total chaos.
I can't put on lipstick. There's no way.
Okay. Yeah, you stand there, because your name is on this side.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
you
this
stand
side?
there.
Okay. Cool.
And we can both use the computer.
All right. Cool. There's just so much.
There's too much going on. Now, which camera am I looking at? The tally lights are not working, so we're totally lost here. We're working on a skeleton crew, and there's too much to say.
Oh my God.
Because what are we watching?
We're watching
dvtv Live. My name is Gene Lee. No, your name is Gene Lee.
My name is
Richard.
Gene Lee.
What is the word of the week?
Oligarch.
Oligarch. I thought it was deep state, but that's 2 words, right?
Yeah, deep state is a political science term.
There's so much going on that we have notes. I have notes in front of me. You know, with all the circus coming out of the White House, all the spectacle, it's really hard to keep up with what's going on.
It's like a bad reality show, Rich.
Oh, well.
It's an absolute
it
bad
is not
reality
like
show.
a bad reality
It
show.
is a bad reality show.
It is a bad reality show, yes. And all these notes are in front of me are the same. Here's
Yeah.
the ones I'm looking for. There was Tuesday's leaked tax return. There was the Bowling Green massacre, the Swedish terror attack, the wall. Who will pay for the wall? You know who's going to pay for the wall. You are.
Yeah,
Chinese
we all are.
change is climate change is a Chinese hoax. My electoral victory was the largest ever. My inauguration crowd was the biggest ever. Paid
Lies.
protesters.
Lies.
Muslim ban. See you in court. Muslims celebrating 9/11. Depleted military. Immigrant crime, highest murder rate in 45 years, alternate facts, 3 million illegal voters, defending Putin, unsecure security conferences in Mar-a-Lago, attacks on federal judges playing dumb about Michael Flynn, ripped the media as fake news, executive order discriminating against transgenders. He blocked CNN and New York Times and Politico from the press briefings, skipping the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Pussy.
Who does that?
Yeah, who does that? Nobody. When Reagan was shot, he called in from the hospital when he was recuperating from a gunshot wound.
Wow.
He called in from the hospital to participate in the White House Correspondents'
Wow.
Dinner. So that's. He's a pussy.
He does not take this job seriously. He can't take it.
He can't take it, no. He fired the acting attorney general. He fired 46 U.S. prosecutors. He's gutting the State Department. There was indefinite dissension. He called it a well-tuned machine, he called the White House. He said healthcare will end in a beautiful picture. 10,000 unvetted ICE agents. You know that's going to end well. Trumpcare, which he won't own, the bogus wiretap claim, and just today, the 2018 budget of death. You are watching dvtv Live, and we are taking your phone calls tonight at 212-757-1393. 212-757-1393.
Please give us a
Hey, everybody
call.
out there, give us a call because the budget. Now,
The budget. Actually, I do have to say one positive thing
Please.
about the budget. He's giving more money to the veterans as promised.
he is increasing money to the
But-
veterans, but
But so little in
he's
comparison.
eliminating Meals on Wheels in that budget. Meals on Wheels feeds 500,000 veterans.
Especially people that have had their
500,000
arms blown off or
Yeah.
their legs blown off
And
or
the
just
thing
can't
about
leave the house.
thing about Meals on Wheels, I think we have a graphic on Meals on Wheels. But the thing about that program is this is meals to homebound people who can't leave their house.
Because they're immobile.
They're disabled,
Or
they're too
something.
old,
Yeah.
whatever. This is, in many, many cases, this is the only human face they will see all day. They can't leave the house, they're homebound. The person who's delivering Meals on Wheels, that's the only person they will see all day.
And it happens in a lot in New York because of older people that just can't leave their rent control apartments.
Yeah.
And they live in a fourth floor walk-off.
Older people, disabled people, they're all going to suffer. So he's increasing money to veterans. He's increasing some money to veterans. Of course, Homeland Security, the defense spending is up 9%. 639 billion. It's not up yet. He's proposing that. But
this has to get through Congress.
well, it has to get through the Senate first. It may be DOA, just like Trumpcare. But
like,
listen to what he's cutting.
Yeah.
Listen to what he's cutting the APA by 31%. That
He's
eliminates
cutting like everything. Every single
Yes.
international environmental policy that was ever made, he wants to just blow it up in the air.
The clean water, everything. Yeah, this is going to become a very dangerous country. Like I say, people, or like I said on Twitter before, people will die. People will get sick. Disease will spread if this budget comes into effect.
What's going to happen when Exxon has another oil spill in the Gulf?
Oh, well.
What do you think's going to happen?
The thing about oil spills is they say, oh, we clean it up,
Yeah,
and then
they
they put
don't.
out commercials. You can never clean
it
up
up.
an oil spill.
Well, you got
can
Tillerson.
minimize, you can kind of scrub the rocks like they did in Alaska,
Yeah.
but there's still the animals and the people in that area
Really
where the
get
Exxon
affected.
Valdez crushed. Yeah, they get affected. You can never clean up an oil spill. It becomes part of the landscape, part of the nature. And that's the really evil thing about oil spills. So they're cutting the EPA, more than 50 programs eliminated and 3,200 jobs. The State Department he's cutting. Agriculture he wants to cut. Labor, Health and Human Services, Commerce, Education, Housing and Urban Development, Transportation, Interior, Energy Department, the Small Business Administration, Treasury and Justice Department, cuts funds to the Appalachian Regional Commission,
Aren't
the
those
ARC.
the people that need that the most?
Yes, in coal country. Now,
Those people aren't the most brilliant people, and they are suffering more than we are.
yeah, well, let's say they're not the most educated, because
Yeah.
there's not too many, well, if you don't have a lot of money, you're not going to go to a college.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
They don't build colleges in low income areas as much as they do in
In
a place
high
like
income.
New York
Or
City
Boston, yeah.
or Boston or somewhere like that. That program, the Economic Development Administration promotes economic development of the region stretching from northern Mississippi to western New York.
I think
Coal
that,
country.
I think that congressman, I saw him on CNN today, and he was doing like a town hall, and this one lady was like, well, why aren't you doing a town hall, but yet you're doing one on CNN?
Right,
And he's
yeah.
kind of going, well, I meet with small groups,
He's
for like
afraid
30
of-
minutes.
He's afraid
I'm just
of
like,
getting.
really?
Yeah, he's afraid of getting heckled like Rubio.
Yeah,
Rubio
it's a-
said he won't do town halls because he knows he's going to get heckled. Big deal. You're getting paid. Face the public. Face the people who are paying
Exactly.
your damn salary.
I was just seeing that on CNN like right before I left.
Yeah, and the thing is about the town halls now, those Republicans, and I should give them credit, there's some Republicans that are doing town halls, are taking
And
questions.
they're taking the shit.
They're taking the shit, but they're saying, let's have a show of hands. I saw a video the other day. Let's have a show of hands of who wants to see Trump's tax returns. And almost everybody in the hall raised their hands.
Wow.
Yet, every time it comes up for a vote, Republicans vote against it. They could easily, the tax returns could be summoned by the Congress, by congressional committees, easily.
Yeah.
All they have to do is ask. Yet, it won't go through the Republican vote. It's usually a party line vote, and they vote it down. So, that they're taking the town halls, that's good. Whether they're listening, whether they're doing anything, or they're just like paying
Lip
lip
service, yeah.
Yes, they're just paying lip service while they're in front of their constituents. Yeah. So,
What else is going to be cut, Rich?
unspecified cuts to SNAP, also known as food stamps. Food
Oh,
stamps
lovely.
feed poor people. I know lots of people who depend upon food stamps to feed their children, feed their families, make up, and these aren't people who are like sitting home collecting.
Yeah.
These are people who are working. Food stamps make a very vital difference. Also, they're cutting WIC, which is the women in what is it? WIC.
Yeah.
It's basically women and children.
Children.
They're cutting food aid to women and children. Women, infants, and children. I have it right in front of me. Sorry, I hadn't had time to go over my notes because we really rushed into the show today. We're lucky to be here. Oh, what about Meals on Wheels? Hey, as I said, 500,000 veterans. He's so nice to veterans.
Oh,
He wants to cut Meals on Wheels. He probably didn't know that until he watched the news.
Exactly,
Maybe.
because he likes to watch the news all the time.
Yeah, and that's where you get, and that is not a great place, you know.
Doesn't he have access to all these intelligent people? He has access to a lot of files.
He
has access to the CIA.
They all answer to him, yet he won't ask them questions. He won't even ask the CIA or the FBI about his bogus wiretap claim. He won't even ask them because he knows damn well it's a bogus claim. And now he's doing dances around and he said, well, it was all surveillance. And Scott Spicer the next day comes out in a press conference and says, well, we're not talking about that anymore. We'll have nothing more to say. Why? Because he knows it's bullshit.
Other FBI would have said, hey, he ordered a FISA on you, but obviously that never happened.
And actually, the FBI, most of the intelligence agencies have said there has not been. First of all, the president cannot order a wiretap.
He can't order, and
Obama did not order a wiretap, and no wiretap was ordered on Trump. And if there was a wiretap on Trump Tower, that means it was an FISA order.
Exactly,
means
a
there was
FISA order.
Court order to get some intelligence on some dealings with foreign people, oligarchs.
There wouldn't be an issue that Obama would care about. He would just leave that to the proper administration.
Right, Obama's not that kind of guy.
He's not going to care.
Right,
That's not his deal.
Right, yeah. So he wouldn't have ordered the wiretaps anyway.
On a private citizen,
so,
exactly.
As I said, we're soliciting your phone calls, and you can tweet us live. I don't know if I have time to look at
dvtv live.
At dvtv live, but the phone number is 212-757-1393. Your calls to dvtv live tonight. And what else? Now there's a big fat $37 billion cut for teacher training and after school summer programs. And I heard that Budget Director Mulvaney said, well, the after school programs don't do anything for the children. There's no evidence that feeding them after school or anything improves them.
He literally says that?
He literally said that.
There's like so many kids that depend on these school lunch programs and breakfast programs to function.
Yes, depend upon, how are you going to learn if your stomach is grumbling, if you're hungry? Remember back when you were in school, when you were in grade school. Yeah, it was hard enough to concentrate. And then you're hungry and you're wondering, am I going to eat? Am I going to eat at 3 o'clock? Am I going to eat tonight? That's not good for education. That is not good for learning, okay? So, as a complete elimination of the Community Block Development Grant, $3 billion, which works against poverty in the inner cities that Trump claimed to care about so much. And if you're a liberal, if you like the arts, if you like to think, if you like to have your children learn to read, well, the budget eliminates PBS, NPR, the National Endowment for the Arts, the National Endowment for Humanities.
This is not going to happen, though.
I don't know. Now, this has been in the crosshairs for something like 40 years. I just looked up. I thought it happened sometime in the 70s or the 80s. No, Mr. Rogers testified in front of Congress to keep the budget for PBS in 1969. They've wanted PBS on the chopping block for almost 40 years. Why? Because, that's where the liberals, that's where they put on documentaries and they put on honest news. And the Republicans have always had something against PBS. They definitely have something against NPR, and they don't like the arts at all.
What's wrong with the arts? The arts drive everything. It's counterculture.
But people can express themselves with the arts. That's why they fear That's why they're fearing the arts. So we are taking your phone calls, 212-757. What is that noise?
What is that, Rich?
What is that noise? I don't know. I can't see, but it sounds nasty.
Oh my God, we have a
God.
drone.
Oh my God, look at that.
It's
the
spying on
NEA.
us.
It's the NEA. They don't have to spy on us. All they have to do is like tune in, right?
There's a
Look at
drone.
that. It's a drone.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. Look at that. God, then, the NSA can easily find out what we're saying. It's not a mystery. But look at that. They believe they have the balls to bring it right in here and there's the camera. Look.
Oh my
right
God.
over this desk. That is scary, and it makes a scary noise, too.
I know.
It has red lights on it.
Help me.
That really is nasty.
That's
I'm
really-
backing away from this sucker, yeah. Oh, man.
Hell. Okay, go away. Go back to your house. You know what's really...
Go back to what is it?
Go back to
Langley,
North
Virginia?
Korea.
No. The,
This country's going to turn out like North Korea.
well, it certainly is.
All the money going to be spent on defense, blowing up the Pentagon.
Yeah.
People are going hungry.
Yeah, well, that's the myth that Trump pushed all during the campaign. Oh, the military is depleted. The military is weak. There's no evidence of
BS.
that. The military is doing just fine. We have the biggest military in the world. We have more bases all over the world. We have troops operating in many countries. As a matter of fact, just today I found this out just before we went to air. The Air Force bombed a mosque in Aleppo today. They killed 40 to 77 people. Now, this was during a service. There were 300 people injured. Now, yeah, there may be terrorists in the mosque, but there's a lot of innocent people.
I thought a lot of the American military would have been a lot smarter in how they execute these things.
Well, not under Trump. They want to loosen the rules, and they don't want to review. They just want to strike. They're brown people. They're Muslims. Let's get them. What did he say? He said, let's bomb the shit out of them. And I wish I had the list in front of me. There are so many countries that the United States has bombed the shit out of in the past 50 years.
Japan.
It never, and Japan is one of them,
Yeah.
It has never ended well. Maybe Japan ended well because that brought an end to the wall. And there is an argument to be made, I don't know if I accept it, there's an argument to be made that, well, Truman had to use the nuclear bomb.
In order to end the war, because he was just going on and on and on, like the song that doesn't
or
end.
else, World War II would have gone on for quite some time. But there's a huge list, you can look it up on the internet, you can Google it, huge list of countries that the United States has bombed the shit out of. What happened? We lost in all those places. We bombed the shit out of Afghanistan. We bombed the shit out of
And guess what? The
Iraq.
war just lingers on, like the song that doesn't end.
Yeah, where the things never ended well. North Vietnam, we gave up basically.
Yeah, after
Didn't
what, 10
surrender,
years?
but yeah, we got the hell out of there because of people pressure, because there were too many people in the streets. The war became wildly unpopular. Nobody wanted to be drafted because they knew they were going over to die. And also, there was a disproportionate number of poor people and people of color going over there as soldiers.
And there's so many
and
people
coming
who are
back
just
in
like
boxes.
having kids to dodge the draft and
Right,
all these
yeah.
crazy things, going to college even though they didn't want to.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I heard a lot of that was happening in the 70s.
Right, and I don't fault all draft dodgers, but ones that become president and say they're strong on the military, well, Trump claimed that he had a splint in his shin or something like that, or something wrong with his ankles. Something wrong with his ankle, one of his ankles. They asked him recently which ankle it was. He can't remember.
Oh my God.
If you had a big enough problem that you couldn't be drafted, I would remember, even after 40 years, which ankle it was.
At least,
just to keep my
I
story
know.
straight.
If you're gonna have, if you can't even figure out what ankle is, have something foolproof like I'm colorblind.
Right, yeah.
You would think
Well, there
he
was
was
so
smart
many-
enough
there
to
was-
pay someone off
yeah.
and say you're colorblind.
I knew a guy who went to he went to a doctor in California to get braces because apparently they wouldn't draft somebody if they had braces.
Wow.
He went out and got removable braces, showed up for his thing in New York, didn't get drafted, and then he pulled the braces off himself.
Wow.
But that's the kind of thing that was going on because nobody wanted, people went to Canada and also people went to jail for dodging the draft.
Because you're safer in jail.
Yeah. Now they've never bought back the draft. There's been talk about it, but they've never bought back the draft because it is highly, highly unpopular.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people even that are between the ages of 18 and 25 and they don't sign up for SSS. Their parents
Right.
just
Yeah.
pay it.
Yeah. And as a result, well, also because of economic conditions, there's a lot of people who will sign up for the Army, for the Navy, for the armed services because they can get education grants.
Yeah.
$40,000
Exactly.
when you sign up. And also, there's no damn jobs. There's no damn good jobs. A lot of kids from coal country, like we were talking about.
18, 19, they're signing up.
They know that they're not going to get any kind of a job, and the military is the only thing for them.
Option.
So they haven't needed to have a draft. But again, and this guy has the nuclear codes. This flaming liar that we have in the White House, this bullshit artist has the nuclear codes. So I don't know. I
Nuclear
don't,
codes.
yeah, I don't trust him. I think if he gets backed into a corner, I think if things get really bad, the way he throws things out to distract people, he may just start a war to save his ass. He may just start a war to stave off impeachment proceedings or something like that.
Oh,
He's not
wow.
above that. He's not above that. He's totally self-centered. He's totally narcissistic, which is the word of the year and word of last year. Yeah, he may just do that. I'm worried about that. Let's talk. We've been talking a lot about impeachment, and let's make something clear in case I don't want to give out a false impression. Because if you know your history, as recently as Bill Clinton, just because a president gets impeached does not mean he gets removed from office. That is a separate thing.
That has to be actually in order to, after impeachment, 2/3 of Congress has to.
2/3 of the Senate.
Senate.
2/3 of the Senate
have to boot you, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
So it has never happened before. 2 presidents were impeached. Nixon was not impeached. He left office before impeachment could happen. But Andrew Johnson in the 1800s and Bill Clinton in the 1990s. Now, Bill Clinton, interestingly enough, he was more popular after the impeachment.
Because he was a badass.
Yeah, he was a badass, and his approval rating went up.
Because he was a badass.
Yeah, and also they realized that the impeachment charges were totally, that it had nothing to do with government or anything. Yeah, he shouldn't have lied about having
Getting
sex
a
with that
blowjob,
intern.
yeah.
But
Monica Lewinsky.
guess what? Most men will lie in those situations, and a lot of women will lie in that
I
situation.
did not
too.
have sex with Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah, so that's what got him in trouble. He was too popular, and he was more popular after. So when impeachment happens, that's impeachment. That's just like Congress putting the president on notice. It has no effect, but they can proceed to removal from office, which again gets 2/3 of the Senate.
You know what's really sad?
What?
My plan B to escape to Korea, thanks Mom and Dad, is probably not a good plan anymore because the president of South Korea just got impeached.
Oh, just got impeached,
Yeah,
right?
she got impeached pretty recently.
Right,
so,
yeah, last week.
I think their government is a little bit more unstable than ours at the moment.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's
That's something I haven't been followed
That's
up. haven't followed
crazy.
up on,
Well,
yeah.
in this country, they're too busy covering Trump. So if you
Right.
turn on BBC,
I know.
World News,
I should watch
like,
BBC
you'll
more
hear
often.
a little bit more about it. And
right.
if you decide to go on your cable channels to the Korean news or whatever with
Right.
the English subtitles, you get the real story. But it's just really interesting that, like, okay, I have this visa if I wanted to go teach English,
Right.
but I don't know if I'll activate that because that country's kind of in a mess right now of their own.
The Korean news that we get here, the news agencies are okay. They're not
Yeah, they have
government-controlled?
like KBS, NBC. They all have like bureaus here.
Okay.
And most of the Korean people live in New York and LA.
Right.
So there's always like a Korean. If you go like the 1400s, there's Korean channels.
Right.
And it's the same thing in Time Warner Spectrum in LA as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's get back to the United States. What happens? What happens if Trump gets impeached? Well,
Mike Pence
President
becomes
Mike Pence.
Pence.
How likely is it? How likely is it that Pence will also get impeached? Not really likely. Let's say he does get impeached. It goes to Orrin Hatch, who is the president pro tem of the Senate, the most senior member of the Senate. And after him, it goes to the Speaker of the House, I believe, Ryan. Oh, I'm sorry, I've got it backwards. After the Vice President, Speaker of the House, Ryan. After Ryan, Orrin Hatch, and after him, the Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson.
Yay.
So it's not a good line of succession either.
Maybe it'll
There's
happen
no good options.
in 2018, 2019 when Pelosi will take her throne back.
Maybe, but yeah. And it's looking to happen because...
That would be really funny.
Trumpcare, some people are calling it Ryan Care. The White House wants to call it Ryan Care. It's funny how Trump puts his name on steaks and an airline and buildings
water.
and water and every damn thing, but he won't put his name on Trumpcare. He won't put his name on Trumpcare, and they're calling it Ryan Care too. But that may be dead in the water. Let's hope it is. Let's hope it is. Let's hope they don't replace Obamacare. Because again,
so many people need it, and in places like Kentucky.
And again, what we were talking about 2018. What happens in 2018 if they repeal Obamacare?
So many people are uninsured.
14 million. Eventually 24 million, but 14 million. The big majority of people are going to lose it by next year, just before the elections happen.
Oh, wow. That's so great. And guess what? Guess where all those angry people are going to go?
Yeah.
They're going to be like, okay, no.
They know who's pushing this, and by now most of them know that the Affordable Care Act is Obamacare.
And it's not such a bad idea anymore.
It's not such a bad idea. So listen, this program may or may not have been a bad idea. We're a little out of breath, but we've got to go. Now, we're not going to be back next week, but in 2 weeks from tonight. Next week, you may or may not see a comedy show in this time slot. I haven't heard back from the producer. He hasn't told me if he's going live.
Rob hasn't said anything?
No, not a thing.
Oh, God.
So tune in 2 weeks. Again, this is Rich Speziali.
Jeannie Lee.
Good night.